Adam Bavkar, the 27-year-old school teacher. Connor Payne returning against his former side tonight. Extra motivation for him. And Lee Broxham, as I said, a big year for him this year, having to lead this side through a very tough campaign. So we're all ready to go here at Amy Park in front of no fans. Melbourne in lockdown. An eerie feeling to get us underway. Archie Thompson joins me in commentary this evening.
Thanks, Zappers. Yeah, obviously disappointing news about COVID coming back to Melbourne and Victoria. Thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that's been affected. But look, for us, we get to watch live football. Obviously, two teams that lacking form. I know that with West United, mathematically, they can still make a sixth, but a lot of results need to go their way, and unfortunately, I don't think you can see that happening. But there's a lot at stake, I guess, for both sets of teams, both sets of players, because there is players out of contract and need to just show a little bit of something coming towards the back end of this season.
Melbourne Victory, talking of motivation, still need to get some results, you would think, to avoid the club's first ever wooden spoon. Archie, it's a long, rich history, this club, and they don't want that added to their record.
No, they certainly don't. And I did have a word with Craig Deans, and he's obviously one of the teams that is fighting down near the bottom not to get the wooden spoon, and that's something that's I'm guessing both teams and both managers will be stressing to their players. And you know, when you think of the rich history that Melbourne Victory have, it's unheard of in their time to be thinking about maybe getting a wooden spoon. But it's certainly up to the players now to make that not happen.
Western United with the first foray forward. Lockie Wales inside the area. Lee Broxham there to block him. Connor Payne now on the ball. Far post played for Piraeus, and the header straight into the arms of Matt Acton. Great to see Seb Pasquale and Duzel starting tonight for Western United. Spoke to Mark Redan in our pre-game show about Pasquale, and he's on the ball now, and how much promise he's had, and just how wretched a run he's had with injuries over the last two seasons.
Yeah, I remember his time when he was at Melbourne Victory, and he was only a young fella coming into the team, and just had so much confidence and quality, well beyond his years. And he had a successful stint over in Holland with Ajax, with their youth set up, and you know, decided to come back to play more regular senior football. And obviously injuries hasn't helped with that, but you can certainly see early on the quality that he has. I mean, that beautiful ball into the back post with Dylan Piraeus, again another exciting player for West United. You can see his qualities already.
Diamanti had to trouble the scorers this season. His assist record is one of the best in the league, but Alessandro Diamanti yet to score this season. I'm sure he'll know about that. This is Connor Payne. Perhaps we might see him score this evening. Nice ball in, whipped over the top, and he just eluded Lockie Wales, who was waiting in the middle.
And Luke Duzel, quality young player that's come into this West United team. And what's concerning again for Steve Keane is that pressure on the ball. You don't want to be seeing too many players isolated, especially 1v1 in the wide areas for West United, and even around the 18-yard box, to have that time to be able to pick a ball or a player out in that 18-yard box.
So first corner of the evening for the home side tonight, Western United, taken by Diamanti, whipped in with some pace and some swerve. Drake Brimmer with the final touch. Ball remains in play. Storm Rue intercepted by Piraeus. Barachena. Duzel's seen plenty of the ball early on. Here's Pasquale. Fans of Melbourne Victory will remember him making his debut at the MCG. Said Pasquale for Melbourne Victory as a 16-year-old against Juventus, of all teams. Didn't he excite those that were there that evening?
I guess that's what you get with youth players, and have that excitement, no fear when they go out into a pitch, especially against a big club like Juventus. He certainly made his mark in that game.
Here's Falami. I thought he's been very good, Ben Falami, for Melbourne victory, especially in the last month. He's recovered from injury and getting some regular game time now, Archie.
Yeah, really exciting, powerful player. Likes to take his players on. And, for him, it was just getting some more game time and consistency, and we can see the quality that he has. But, again, for Melbourne City, Melbourne victory, they just need to push up a little bit more, put pressure on the ball a lot higher. I think that's what Steve Keane talked about in the pre-game, is what happened when he brought the young players on last match.
Here's Jess Stead, who tries from distance. We haven't seen him score from outside the area yet this season, Rudy Jested, and that one's wide of the mark.
Yeah, he probably does more of his work in that 18-yard box. We're so used to seeing balls delivered into an area. This is probably not part of his game that he's we're used to seeing. But for him, it's about getting that delivery into the box. So it's really key for Callum McManaman, Elvis Kamsoba, Ben Falami to get those balls into dangerous areas. You can see with Callum McManaman, he looks to be playing in more of a 10 position. What
about this record, Archie? When Western United came into the league last season, and if you told me that Western United would have won 4 out of the 5 games and 1 draw, I wouldn't have believed you. It's an extraordinary record, and they look to continue that tonight. They want the bragging rights to continue. Here's Callum McManaman with the ball in to the far post, looking for Jested over his head. That's hard to do. Ben Falami. Now Jacob Butterfield. Short pass, which was snappy, into Jake Brimmer. Traore. And his cross cut out by Dylan Piraeus. Jake Brimmer will know all about Tony Popovic, having played under him at the Perth Glory. So he knows what's coming. What's coming is a lot of running in the pre-season, I bet. They'll be fit. That's for sure. Tony Popovic due to fly into Melbourne at the end of the season. He'll have to do his 2-week quarantine, and I'm told he'll be here in July and ready to take charge from that point on.
Yeah, well, look, we all know that he loves his teams to be strong and fit, and I know with my time with the Socceroos and Tony Popovic, playing with him, when Goose Hiddink had us, he wanted us to be so fit, because that can certainly help run out games. So I'm thinking that's perfect for some of these players that are still contracted with Melbourne Victory, that he comes in and gets the best out of them, the quality, because that's probably something that I've seen lacking for Melbourne Victory over this year with a rough challenge from Connor Payne. There is just the ability to run out matches. And you certainly, with Popovic's teams, they get stronger as the game goes on. So that's certainly something that will help Victory when he gets to the helm.
There have been 19 goals scored in 4 games between these two, almost 5 goals a game. So expect plenty tonight. The first yellow card of the evening handed out to Connor Payne. The most memorable of those clashes, Archie, coming at Marvel Stadium. 4-3 win to Western United. Here's Diamante. Nice pass to Dylan Piraeus. Tries to whip that one in with his left foot. Not enough curve on it. Nico Guadacena just perhaps telling him low percentage. Pass might have been better.
You're going back on that game early on in this season. That was unbelievable scenes. I think it was the last kick of the match, which Victor Sanchez popped up and scored the winner.
Victor Sanchez missing tonight. He's picked up a calf injury, I'm told, and it may be the last we see of him this season, which is a shame. I think he's been a good addition to the squad, the Spaniard. Here's the other Spaniard who was added to the squad, Guadacena, to Diamante, who tries one from outside the area, and that's a regulation save for Matt Acton.
He didn't really have too much space to be able to generate any kind of accuracy or power. It was almost like turn hit on sight, but you know, that's early signs is good for Diamante to be hitting the target. I know he's probably been a little bit off this season when you think about what he did last season, the amount of goals, but what he does off the ball, his assists, incredible.
There's the Italian maestro again in the midfield. That pass that we've become all too familiar with and love seeing. Sweeps it out to Connor Payne. Now the shot from a distance isn't too bad and not far away. Said Pasquale against his former side. Hit it well, Archie.
Always difficult to be able to have accuracy when the ball's coming across you and generate power, but it was a beautifully weighted pass from Connor Payne into Pasquale's area, and you know that's really close. You can just see it just swerving away, but early signs for Western United, they look fantastic when they go forward. That amount of space that Western United, Melbourne Victory are offering out wide needs to be tightened.
Yeah, we love seeing Pasquale in full flight. And that was a little view there to what he's capable of as a footballer. So much promise. Here's McManaman now for Melbourne Victory. Now Jake Brimmer from outside. We know he can hit them from there. Scott deflects it. Almost into the path of Callum McManaman. Perez with the clearance. A bright opening to this one at Amy Park.
Attacking players finding some space in and around that 18-yard box.
Cam Sober. McManaman. Now Butterfield. First time by McManaman. Brimmer to Falami. He'll size it up here for Lamy. Tomoki might gets his body in the way. 50-50 ball won by Butterfield. Now Cam Sober. Nice build up here for Victory. Storm Roo to Jested. Brimmer with the shot. And Jake Brimmer with the finish. Top corner. That is as good as you'll see in the A-League. Jake Brimmer with another goal for Melbourne Victory. Victory take the lead.
From West United, the pressure was just building and building. Great little ball in behind. Just drifted the ball up high to the back post. But you know that Jested is so dangerous in that area. Just knocks it down, but it just falls out beautifully to Jake Brimmer. Does everything right there, hits the ball with some venom. And you could see off there, Mark Rudin was so disappointed that there wasn't enough pressure on the ball, but what a wonderful finish from Jake Brimmer.
5 goals for the season now for Jake Brimmer. He's been one of their best this year in a very tough season, Archie. And that was a finish of the highest order.
We can see already what the game plan is for Victory when they get in those wide areas. It's about the delivery into the box. Many times we've seen this season, it's just been floated up into an area where Rudy Jested had some presence to nod that down, but not cleared well, and then Jake Brimmer latches on to a bouncing ball and hits it firmly into the back of the net.
Just a minute ago, it was said Pasquale at the other end. I said there was a bright opening. I said to expect goals, and the players have delivered right on cue. This will be an entertaining game tonight.
Well, Zappers this year, we don't call boring games. There's always some kind of element of surprise when we're watching the A-League. We've had some wonderful finishes this season, especially with these two clubs.
Well, we've been blessed. Our first game, Archie, you might remember, is in Geelong this season, calling Western United and Perth Glory, and that was 5-4. They don't play too many dull games, Western United, that's for sure. Here's Lockie Wales now, trying to find a response. The clearance from Acton almost cannoned into Dylan Perez, and that could have been anything.
No real communication there, I think, between Matty Acton and his defenders. He almost came too fast onto Dylan Perez to kind of get it direct on to goal.
Wonderful run by Adama Traore, but breaks down in the midfield. Guadachena cuts out the pass. Pasquale looks for Guadachena. Missed his pass there. This is Jested. Now the goal scorer, Brimmer. Terrific ball by Jake Brimmer. Cam Sober has some space to work in. It can be dangerous from here. Just took a heavy touch. Brimmer misses his pass. It's Pasquale. Now to Connor Payne. What a chin up. Ball out for a throw in to the home side. Western United, the home side tonight.
What's really interesting, obviously not having fans in the stadium, is you can hear the instructions from all the players. And here's that goal. This guy tries to clear it, but just falls beautifully into the path of Jake Grimmer. Just puts his foot through it. But like I was saying, it's just, you know, when you're watching live football, no audience, you can hear the commands and instructions from all the players.
Rocky Wales does really well. Makes a run off the ball, and Guadachena with composure. Here's Guadachena. Wales waiting, there he is. Guadachena gets another chance. Tamoki Imai, now Diamanti. Pasquale, nice movement from Western United. Guadachena tries the overlapping run from Tamoki Imai, couldn't find him, now on the break. Look at this space for Ben Falami. He has Elvis Kamsoba making the run. Kamsoba has a direct route on goal. He'll take a shot, Elvis Kamsoba, and it is saved by Ryan Scott. That was another terrific opening for Melbourne Victory.
And they're just utilising the speed and pace of the front line. Great little layoff from just dead to Ben Falami. Just attack the space.
Look at the space here for Tamoki Imai. This is end-to-end stuff here at Amy Park. Pasquale to Diamanti. Now Connor Payne. Diamanti forced back. Payne misses his pass, but it fortuitously falls to Diamanti. Guadachena is there with the header, and he puts it just over the bar.
Well, again, a Diamanti with a beautiful delivery. But here you can see with the fast break, West United aren't blessed with speed at the back. So this is where Victory needed to be really clinical. Elvis Kamsoba did so well to get a shot on target. You could almost felt that he should have played a ball across, because Rudy Justad and Ben Falami were making that run. But what a wonderful ball from Diamanti. Guadachena just didn't get really any kind of purchase or conviction in the header. I know it was probably just a little bit too high to be able to put it down towards goal. But like you said, Zap, is really end-to-end stuff.
They've never beaten Western United, Melbourne Victory, in the 2 seasons they've played each other. And this is what the result would mean for Melbourne Victory. It would put that gap between them and the Newcastle Jets. A win tonight, and they avoid their first ever wooden spoon. Butterfield. Nice ball for McManaman. He can hit them from here. Callum McManaman hits the crossbar and the post right in the corner. That would have been another beauty.
Well, that was amazing. It was a beautiful run in behind. I was just about to say that he's drifted into that 10 position. And what he does so well is picks up space and just gets away from his defender. It almost looked like the way that he hit that was going to go over the bar, but that dip, and we were right behind that. That almost looked like it was going in.
Oh, this is so good to watch. So open, perhaps if you're a defender or if you're schooled in the art of defending. But it's open, it's entertaining, and there are chances galore.
And I guess with Callum McManaman slotting into that kind of 10 role, they had a bonus for that. Him in that position too is that he can make runs in behind too. He not necessarily just come to feet.
Duzel looks for Piraeus. Just eludes him, and it'll be a throw-in for Melbourne Victory. Take a breath.
Sorry, man. Nah. Good try, though.
Sounds of the A-League tonight a little bit different here at Amy Park. Hear the instructions of the players. Melbourne in lockdown this evening, and I hope you're enjoying A-League on Fox Sports this evening, especially those of you watching in Victoria.
Let's go, boys. Come on. Time.
Talk about Jake Brimmer's effectiveness this year, Archie. He's been involved in 15 of Victory's 24 goals coming into tonight. That's 62.5%. Incredible.
Yeah, that's what you want from your midfielders. He can set up play and also score goals. I know that his time with Popovich in Perth probably wasn't a regular starter, so for him, knowing that Popper's coming in, this would only add to his value. And what a beautiful finish it was.
Here's Luke Dizelle, whose dad, Ivan Dizelle, played in the NSL. Great to see generations coming through. Alfred almost missed his pass. Falami was good to keep it in. Waiting for the overlapping run of Callum McManaman. I think he gave him too much of a task there.
We talk about strength and presence. Smokey Imai is not a slouch when it comes to that one-on-one duel, and the way that Ben Falami just pushed him off the ball just shows the quality he has and that physicality.
Diamanti tried to find Pasquale. Butterfield intercepted, and again Melbourne Victory with space. Look at the overlapping run from Adama Traore. That's where the ball is played by Falami. Traore inside for Rudy Gested, and Rudy Gested makes it 2 for Melbourne Victory. What a run from Adama Traore, and a counter-attack of the highest quality from Melbourne Victory.
Well, it was a beautiful break and a beautiful way to pass from Ben Falami into the space for Adama to attack, but it was an overlapping run. He started it from halfway. It was almost a 100-metre sprint, and he just placed it into an area where Justek can get his foot to, and he directs it down to the corner of the goal. And what we talked about, that lack of speed in that back three for West United, it was punished. It was on show there, but it was Adama's run and endeavour to try to get forward, and just dead. Gets his 5th goal of the season. And probably Victory supporters at home are thinking, where was this football early on in the season?
Yeah, they've been good, Melbourne Victory, in this first 22 minutes. Gested and Brimmer giving them the advantage. Big questions now asked of Western United. We've seen them come back into games and score plenty of goals. And here Mark Rudan's instructions to Dylan Piraeus: play it and go. You've got all the space. Diamanti to Connor Payne. This is going to be a shootout tonight. I just get the sense. Payne. There's a good ball in. Melbourne Victory had plenty of numbers back, though. Diamanti will try again. Broxham wins the header. Pasquale with the shot. And it takes a deflection. Corner kick. Seb Pasquale comes close again.
This time it's again that delivery into the box, defended well by Lee Broxham, but this is the quality of Pasquale. He's right-footed, left-footed. You can just see that little deflection there.
Diamanti with the delivery, whips it in. Gested with the clearance. The big number 9 doing his defensive duty as well. Radicena to Pasquale. Enjoying watching his game tonight, the number 21 for Western United. Wearing the blue boots, easy to spot. Imai, Diamanti to move it along quickly for Piraeus. And Traore was there.
Come deeper.
Many times we've seen Diamanti drift out into wide positions. because it gets so tightly marked, especially in the middle of the park.
Wales. Broxham with the challenge, and it's a throw in to Western United. Quickly taken by Connor Payne. Now Pasquale decided against the early ball into the area. Start again through Tommy Uscott. Pasquale with a 1-2. The edge of the area just breaks down. Lockie Wales lost his footing. McManaman seized upon by two Western United players. Duzell eventually wins it. Now Piraeus tries to get him behind Adama Traore. That's not easy. Forced back. Imai switching play. Connor Payne. Nobody home.
It's hard to really see where goals are going to come from for Western United. The best Berisha not in the squad. And already 4 straight games without a goal for Western United.
Coming into this game, Archie, 5 losses on the trot for Mark Rudan's side. Worst run in the club's short history. Here's Hamill. Duzell, Diamanti, Piraeus, Traore there yet again. He's not easy to get around Adama Traore.
There's Bessart Berisha obviously wanting to be out there, knowing that the quality of the delivery. And again, there's Josh Risdon, Victor Sanchez. There's some key players to be missing for Western United. We were talking to Mark Rudin before this game about Risdon and not being in the squad, and how much that's impacted his team.
Delivery by Diamanti to the far post. Butterfield, Piraeus with the shot. Once again, just misses the mark. It does take a deflection. And another corner there. Firing away, Western United. They need one to get back into this contest. Momentum all with victory.
It's definitely an improvement from Melbourne Victory when it comes to defending, especially defending their shots. There's a few times that they've just got last-ditch tackles.
Diamanti again, this time to the far post. Imai the target. Broxham wins the header. Lee Broxham showing his versatility again. He's been terrific in the early stages here, winning headers, interceptions. Diamanti miscued that one.
He's probably expecting his wide play to be out there. We all know that Diamanti loves to switch the play. But yeah, when you talk about Lee Broxham, such a fantastic servant for the Melbourne Victory.
Last time they scored, Western United, Archie, was in week 19 against Brisbane Roar. Wales put United in front in the 60th minute. It's now over 400 minutes since Mark Rudan's side has scored a goal in the A-League.
You see Diamanti just wanting to drive his players forward. Tomoki Imai just picked the ball up. He wants him to drive a little bit closer to Melbourne Victory's 18-yard box, just to create some more space, some overloads in areas.
Yes, tries to get some fluidity into the midfield. Diamanti has Tomoki Imai with the overlap. What about that? Adama Traore, a brilliantly timed challenge.
Well, he needed to make that. Again, Tomoki Imai with a beautiful run in behind. Just reads it well. And this is an improvement I was talking about. Those tackles, those last-ditch tackles.
Diamanti looking for a variation. Guadalchena came, now he goes back into the area. Nice ball in again, and guess who wins it for Melbourne Victory? Lee Broxham. Duzell, nice switch of play. Wales. Pasquale. Wastes that one.
Another player that's really impressed me since coming into the A-League is Luke Dazelle. Such an impressive passer of the ball. You see that there with the quality of switch.
Diamanti, piercing pass for Wales, did well to control it. There was plenty on it. Here's Dazelle. Woodcock. Pasquale moves it quickly to Konopay. Now Guadachena miscontrols it. That was more promising from Western United. The ball movement picked up, falls over on the last pass. Guadachena miscontrolling it. Brimmer now. At the other end, Falami. He's been terrific. Adama Traore tonight in the first half an hour. Defensively and offensively, making that great run to set up Victory's second goal this evening. Melbourne Victory have led at half-time just twice this season. Looking good for a lead here for the third time this campaign.
Yeah, but it's their defending in that 18-yard box. It's been a massive improvement since the last match. How many times we've seen Melbourne Victory have to absorb a lot of pressure, especially in first halves, with sitting so deep. But the way that they've defended that 18-yard box, they've really not given too much of an inch for Western United players.
Makeshift Melbourne Victory central defensive unit tonight with Lee Broxham and Dylan Ryan. And Dylan Ryan, of course, heading off after this game to Spain to prepare for the Olyroos. Mostly an overseas-based Olyroos squad for this camp coming up at a tournament where they'll play some of their fellow Tokyo Olympic opponents. Olympic Games coming up, of course, at the end of July. Here's Falami. Another great run. Is a terrific chance for Melbourne Victory to make it 3, and Elvis Kamsoba does exactly that with a backflip to celebrate. This is emphatic for Melbourne Victory.
Well, it's almost too easy. Again, Ben Falami just sizing up his defender, 1v1, and there's that strength to be able to hold his player off and just pick out the late run of Elvis Kamsoba, and it was just as simple as the finishes into the corner. Really frustrated Mark Gruden for the lack of defending, especially in that 18-yard box. To have that late run of Kamsoba. We haven't seen too many of those flips this year, but he scored a few goals of late.
The subplot here, Archie, is the race for the Melbourne Victory Golden Boot this year. It's not going to break any records, any of your records, but geez, there's a few putting their hands up now.
Certainly, with the way that Western United are defending that 18-yard box, someone could be a winner tonight. But look, it was a clinical finish from Elvis Kamsoba, but it was that strong run from Ben Falami. Just what I was saying to Marky Imai, he's a strong defender, especially in those 1v1 duels. You normally see him win those sort of things.
Well, as good as this is for Melbourne Victory fans watching tonight, on the other end of the spectrum, some massive questions for Western United. The way they're conceding goals at the moment.
Certainly, and you'd think, you know, we talk about Mark Gruden wanted to have the confidence to give to the players, but thinking, knowing that that game against Wellington was so important for them. Just might have knocked the stuffing out of them a little bit.
Cam Sober, again, they look dangerous. Victory every time they go forward. Brimmer tries to put it on a spot for Gusted. Too much on it that time. Well, it's been a lean run for Melbourne Victory this year, but here's an opportunity for Lachie Wales. Matt Acton did well. Jake Brimmer, Rudy Gusted, Elvis and Callum McManaman. All with a chance to take that leading goal scorer award at the end of the season. Here's Ben Falami. Another great chance here for Melbourne Victory. Falami goes alone, and Ben Falami makes it 4 within 35 minutes. This is an extraordinary display from Melbourne Victory. 4 goals, Melbourne Victory all over Western United.
Well, again, it's that powerful run. Tomoki Imai just can't get back into his position. Pasquale not the quickest of players, and Ben Falami just sees a space, low and hard. Not much Ryan Scott could do with that. But it's that lack of defending, lack of closing down the space from Western United. That's just too easy for a Melbourne Victory player to waltz into the 18-yard box. He still had a lot to do. He picked out his position of where he wanted to hit the ball low and hard. And 4-0, we would not be expecting this.
Adam Bavkar, the referee, is going to have a check of the VAR for this one. First big decision for the referee and the VAR this evening. And it's been given the all clear. So the debutant referee, Adam Bavkar, doesn't need to go to the VAR to make any decision. He's had a relatively easy night so far, the debutant, 27-year-old school teacher from Laylaw Secondary College, PE teacher. I'm sure all the boys and girls at Laylaw Secondary College will be watching their PE teacher tonight. Well done to the young referee who's out there this evening in his first A-League game.
Wondering for that travel might be starting to play its part. For Western United, you can see Tomoki Imai is usually so strong, getting up and down the pitch. Just was caught wanting in that situation, and Pasquale not playing that much football, being able to get back in. Then you've got to have other defenders around you. Maybe Tommy Uscock could have come across, seeing that potential threat.
Yeah, the defending on that last one, especially Archie, was not up to standard. Salami just saw the opportunity and kept going, and credit to him.
Especially for Mark Rutan, he prides himself in his defensive setup. Being a defender himself, he wouldn't have liked the way that Western United conceded. It's just magnified in that situation and that goal from Ben Falami.
Diamanti for Pasquale. Seb Pasquale thinks about winding up, and then the pass misses its mark.
You can see what he was trying to do there, just laid into the path for Ika Guadachena to get a strike off. But again, it's that defensive display for Victory that's not really allowing too much time and putting that pressure on the ball.
4-0, extraordinary. Inside the first half. Diamanti. Once again, terrific defending, Storm Rue on that occasion.
Steve Keane just say to Ben Falami to not show Diamanti onto his left. You know he's a left footer. Don't give him that opportunity to swing balls in.
Most ever goals scored in the first half of football, 5, Archie Thompson. Brisbane and Sydney have done it in the past. Melbourne Victory, and 5 minutes to join them.
Well, the way that Western United's defending at the moment, that record could be broken.
I'm sure Melbourne Victory fans are enjoying this one tonight. They haven't had a lot to smile about this season.
Definitely, you can almost sense that there'd be a few phone calls on Uber Eats to go to Vintage Cellars or Liquorland.
Here we go with the corner. Can they make it 5 here? Knocked away by Scott. Nice ball by Butterfield too, wasn't it? Falami. Now Diamanti. To Moki Imai. He shrugs off the challenge of Ben Falami and finds his pass. For Connor Payne. Victory with plenty of numbers back. Wadachena. Into Lockie Wales. Pasquale couldn't find his range that time and it breaks down again for Western United. Payne receives from Diamanti. Dizelle looking for the run of Alessandro Diamanti, and once again the pass just missing the target.
You can see the frustration of Diamanti. At the moment, it's just feels like there's just been balls swung into an area. No real usually like to see West United with their combination play. It's non-existent at the moment.
Here's Falami. Is there another one here for Melbourne Victory against Tamoki Imai? Gets in behind, keeps it in play. McManaman, almost 5 for Melbourne Victory.
Well, again, it's Ben Falami with the one-on-one out wide. Tamoki Imai just can't handle the strength at the moment and directness. Well, it was always going to be difficult for Callum McManaman to hit the target with the way he was running into that ball. For him too, with Callum McManaman playing in that 10 role, gets a little bit more involved in the game, making those little late runs into the box. West United just haven't been able to deal with it.
Only twice before in A-League history has a team scored 5 in the first half of football. Brisbane in 2011 and Sydney FC. Jake Brimmer, Rudy Jested, Elvis Kamsoba and Ben Falami, 4 individual goal scorers for Melbourne Victory in this first half. Their best half of football Melbourne Victory fans have witnessed from their side this year by far.
There's Diamante's improved English there. You could hear it. Really frustrated at Dylan Perez to not put more pressure or try to win the ball a little bit more.
Pasquale. Dispossessed. Wadachena. Tell you what, we were critical on Jacob Butterfield last week, Archie, but he's been very good for Victory tonight, winning his challenges, finding his passes. Play continues. Kamsoba down. Traore. Victory doing as they please at the moment. Broxham looking for Kamsoba, that time cut out by Hamill. And now Wiscott. Here's Diamanti. Dylan Perez. Perez has Traore to get around. He does get around him, but the touch too heavy. And Adama Traore has been brilliant tonight.
first time that Dylan Perez had an opportunity to get around Adama Traore, but just that heavy touch. Again, this is something that Western United need to do, get Dylan Perez more in the game, more isolated in the 1v1s out here wide.
Victory come again as we approach 45 minutes. Western United losing their shape once more. Look at this. McManaman. He'll have a go here, Callum McManaman. He hits it over the crossbar. Well, when you're on top 4-0, why not, Archie?
Oh, certainly, and the way he drops his shoulder here is so quick. You can see here just now, bang, puts it into space. No real pressure on the ball, so he's thinking to himself, why not? Like he just couldn't keep the ball down.
Well, 1 minute to be added at the end of this extraordinary first half of football. Western United's poor run of form continuing. Lost 5 games in a row coming into this one. Lachie Wales. Nice little shimmy to find some space, but ran out of space. Did take a deflection, though, off Lee Broxham, so a corner kick. Can they find one before half-time?
First time Lachie Wales had a bit of space to be able to run at his defender.
Taken to the penalty spot. There's a handball. Appeals go up. The referee says no, it will be checked, but on first watch, it had certainly appeared to take the hand of Ben Falami. Stay tuned. There could be a twist at the end of this first half. Diamanti. Now Duzel. And the referee calling up play. So there will be a review of that penalty decision. And in his first match as a referee, Adam Bavkar will go over to the fourth, have a chat and look at the VAR for a handball. It certainly appeared to be a handball when I called it live, Archie. Your view on that?
Well, look, he could see that his arms extended out. Unnatural position. Well, it looks like it's bounced off his arm, his leg onto his arm.
Yeah, but I think we've seen the precedent set this year that that's a penalty. Even though it's taken that deflection, his arm in the unnatural position, for me, will be a penalty. Bavkar points to the penalty spot. It is a penalty for Western United.
Well, they almost went for the first half, not having to make a really tough decision, but you could see firsthand it was quite blatant. It was a really tough decision in the end. We could be seeing the first goal for Diamanti this year.
Yeah, yet to score a goal this season, Alessandro Diamanti scored a famous penalty for Italy in a European Championship quarter-final. He does it here and gets one back for Western United just before half-time. Alessandro Diamanti with his first goal of the season gives Western United fans something to cheer about at home.
Well, they needed to get a goal just before half-time. There's a penalty decision. It obviously went against Melbourne Victory. But really clinical from Diamanti, low and hard. Always going to be difficult for Matty Acton. Certainly breathed some life back into Western United.
All right, play continues. You can see the aggro from the Italian, knowing that his team needs to improve their performance to get back into this contest. But does that goal give them a lifeline heading into half-time? An extraordinary first half of football at Amy Park. It's Western United 1, Melbourne Victory 4. We promised plenty of goals at the start of this game. History tells us that Western United scores plenty in this fixture, and it has continued to deliver this fixture. this evening. All right, plenty to talk about at half-time here at Amy Park. 4-1 to Western United, to Melbourne victory over Western United. Archie Thompson will join me right after this break.